London is calling to the underworld. Come out of the cupboard. Yeah, I can't sing that song, especially as good as it is. Fashion, art, neon lights of London's nightlife, and the things that go bump in the night. Whether it be a shadow person that you see in the corner of your eye, the sound of a door opening in the next room when no one is there, unless you're watching 31 Days of Halloween. There'll be one tomorrow, but we're a disembodied voice that cries out. And according to Miss Collins, someone has been murdered in every room and on every street corner in London. Yikes. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and this is Dave from Nerdbox, and I am accompanied by my wife, Jen, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode, we are talking about The Last Night in Soho. So, fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
Years after her mother's death, small-town girl Eloise is accepted into the University of the Arts, London, where she plans to become a fashion designer and also explore the city that took her mother's life. Eloise is gifted, not just in fashion, but also in the paranormal. She's sensitive to spirits around her, and when she rents a room in a century-old building, those spirits reveal themselves to her in her dreams, causing Eloise to relive the life of singer Sandy, a hopeful cabaret singer who gets entangled with the wrong people.
Okay, before we dive into what we think, we want to know what you think. So drop those in the comments and let us know what your rating and your review is. And what other movies that you may compare this to. Last Night in Soho, did not expect much going into this film, but Edgar Wright, he doesn't miss when he puts out something. It's always quality movies. And what I got was a quality movie.
Yeah, this movie had a lot going on, but the storylines were just amazing. Really, it was excellently written, excellently acted.
Mm-hmm.
The main actor, well, there's two main actresses really, because they kind of play side by side, is Anya Taylor-Joy as Sandy, and she was in movies like Split, though she was brunette.
New Mutants.
New Mutants. And Thomasin McKenzie plays Eloise. I don't know who she is, but she was really good. She's young, 21.
Yeah, Anna Taylor's supposed to be the breakout actress coming up, but I think she was outshined in this film here.
I think so, too. I definitely think so. Thomasin McKenzie, you're definitely going places. She is super talented, very young, like I said, 21, but she knocked it out of the park. She was amazing. She had to play so many different kind of personalities in this movie and different roles, and she killed all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now, Eloise, the opening is her dancing through the house, and the way it was done, it almost felt like a Pixar animated film. Because that's how animated she was in delivering it. And I thought that several times with her facial expressions in the movie and the way she was interacting. It just seemed like it was animated because it was like pretty much on spot and perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with this movie here, so she is an aspiring fashion designer. She goes to London because not only is it her dream, but she wants to finish fulfilling her mom's dream who had passed away. And there's some annoying side characters in it. One that I wanted to punch in the face.
Jocasta.
Yes.
Ugh.
So annoying.
That girl. So annoying.
When she goes out and finds another place to live in, and when she does that, the spirits and the lore and the history of London just kind of bleeds through and finds her like she's a beacon of light in the darkness. Yeah. So she starts experiencing all of those past lives. Yeah. But essentially it comes down to one person.
Yeah. And they're not just dreams. She actually begins to live it. So that was interesting. And it was modern day, but then the life that she was living as Sandy was in the 60s. So obviously way different back then than it is now. And I can't say anything bad about this movie. We actually saw it twice already. We went back and saw it, I think, 2 days after we had seen it the first time, and I didn't check into it because we hadn't reviewed it, and so I didn't want anyone to be like, "Oh, well, we already know what they thought, so we're not gonna bother watching the review." But we just enjoyed it a lot and went back to see it again.
Yeah, so not only is it a ghost story where I thought the ghost, the way they were done, really is like almost real life. It's not the ghost that you would see in a James Wan film. It's like, shadow men and the way their features are done on their face and their clothes, like you can barely make it out, but not, and that's what makes it a little bit more frightening.
Yeah, I really liked the way that it was done. I thought that was excellent. I don't think I've ever really seen it done that way before.
I've seen it somewhere. I can't pick it out at the moment.
Nothing that I can remember off the top of my head.
It could be one of those YouTube channels or the wannabe YouTube ghost shows on TV, but I've seen that type of ghost before, and I thought it was effective then.
Yeah.
It's effective here now as well.
Yeah. So this movie had a lot going for it. The acting, there was music. It was very, in the scenes where it was upbeat, it was super upbeat. And then there was like down moments and, there was manic moments. So overall, it just had a whole lot going for it.
Yeah. Now, people may think I'm crazy, but until you see it, you have to just go with me on this, and then you can agree with me in the comments. Batman the Animated Series has a noir type of feel to it. It's set back, maybe in the 40s and 50s, and the gangsters and stuff like that. This is the closest thing that I've ever seen on film that reminds me of Batman the Animated Series. The way they go back to the 60s and the way the styles are. And something that we talked about in our Driven review for Halloween. The colors, the reds, the purples, everything was popping in that movie. Yeah. It was spot on. So it plays with all of your senses and your emotions, and it just has you locked in. Acting, colors, visuals.
Yeah.
Concept art, everything. Everything was just great.
What I really liked too was when they had a lot of the color popping in the background, the actors mostly wore black and white, which I thought was really cool. And then they would kind of just put like maybe one actor or two actors like in a pop of color. So I thought that was done really well. It definitely had a lot going for it as far as cinematography, music, all of that. Yeah.
The side characters too, Miss Collins and John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those characters were great. I mean, Miss Collins was amazing too.
Oh, yeah.
Like you almost have 3 competing lead actresses here.
Yes.
The way they delivered. So they were excellent.
Definitely. They all delivered really, really well. And I can't say, I mean, go see the movie, seriously.
Yeah. Definitely. Now, Eloise thinks she's going insane over time, and her character deteriorates visually over the course of the movie.
Yes. You can see her physically falling apart. Like her hair is kind of rattier and her makeup gets darker and more of it on her face. And she's not caring so much about her appearance anymore. So, and she feels like she's unraveling mentally, which is really hard for her. And this happens early on, so I'm not spoiling anything. Her mother committed suicide. She couldn't cut it in London. Don't know exactly what happened. They say that London's a whole different beast and you don't know what you're getting into. And she couldn't hack it. And she ended up taking her own life when Ellie was only 7. And so it's hard when she starts to feel like she's unraveling mentally because she feels like she's turning into her mother.
So what's your rating on this?
My rating's an A+.
I am going to do something that is going to be new tradition for this show. It may happen once a year. It may have been once every several years. I don't know, but this is not getting an A+. It's getting a golden popcorn because that's how damn good this film was. There are certain movies that I watched that it's just beyond an A+. And when we left the theaters, I said, "Oh wow, this is the best movie I've seen since Secret Window when it came to story and acting and overall delivery." And I've seen that in the theaters too. So golden popcorn. there are probably other movies that would be on that level, like maybe Jaws or Nightmare on Elm Street, but I didn't originally see those in the theater, so I can't say that I would have had that same kind of impact, or
Yeah.
it would have had that same kind of impact on me
Yeah.
as this film and Secret Window did. So Golden Popcorn, amazing film, great acting, great music, great everything.
Yeah, I'd go see it again. I'm gonna buy it most definitely because it's definitely a movie that it's got complete rewatchability and I will watch it over and over again. It's probably one of my favorite films at this point.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
really, really loved this movie. I can't say that enough.
With Edgar Wright here as well. You can tell he wrote it because there are little nods and Easter eggs to Fuzz and some other movies.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I picked up on it right away, and we both called it out when we were watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just certain things that got said a certain way, and we're like, wait a minute, didn't they say that in Hot Fuzz? So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of delivery of the lines and the way the lines were written of previous films. So, if you're a fan of those films, you're going to see it. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Definitely. Go see it. Can't say it enough. Maybe you're going to hate it. If you do, we probably can't be friends anymore. You can still, watch us, but we can't be friends. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you love Dune and you would hate this movie. That's on you, but I absolutely 100% recommend this movie. I can't recommend it enough. So, anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and share.
Yes, please share. And by liking and subscribing and sharing our videos, it allows us to put more focus in some of our other shows on independent filmmakers and artists. So please help us help them and shine a spotlight on them. Because there are a lot of great movies that are going to be coming out that need your support.
Definitely.
So until the next, see ya.